Historical IQ Studies. 36 years ago, I finished a book on historical IQ studies, the studies ranging from 1916 to the mid-1980s. I spent 2 years researching, compiling, and writing this book, age 34 to 36. It was a revelation to me, and it educated me as to the reason why the races perform differently than whites in intelligence-related schooling and intelligence-related employment. It informed me what the American education system no longer educates our people for an advanced society. The system is geared to the lowest common denominator, the lowest IQ, to obtain equality for the races. We are now, and have been, a Marxist nation for all my lifetime. And the 60 years of open border mentality has forever changed the nation our ancestors created. A change that will eventually destroy the principles this nation was founded on, will throw by force our America into the waste bend of past societies, the greatest nation the world has ever seen. There are several reasons why people will not look at this short book on IQ studies. Perhaps the first is that most people do not like being told they are not as smart as other people, especially other people they do not like. Another reason people will not look at this book is because they believe, in their heart, that God created all people the same. Jesus came for everyone. We all pray to the same God. Jews are God's chosen, more equal than the non-Jew, the Goyim. And it might be a sin to think we are smarter than someone else, or to think the races are not of equal intelligence. There is something unfair about the different races not being intellectually equal, which they are not. It is the sign of the times we live in. People feel their decisions versus making decision in a logical and sequential thinking order. Our way is more important than God's way. For 65 years, our immigration policies have been designed by our enemies from within to import as many not whites as possible, making them citizens equal to white people, which they are not. For those willing to take a look at this short book, about a 2-hour read, it will inform them why multiracial societies are going to fail. We are at the beginning stages of failure here in America. If you are intellectually honest, it will answer many questions for you as to why past societies failed and why importing hundreds of millions of Stone Age DNA will guarantee that failure. President Thomas Jefferson, 200 years ago, stated, "Blacks and whites will not be able to live in the same nation together. Inequality, the genetic difference are too great." He also said, "African slavery in America is like holding a ravenous wolf by the ears. Turn it loose, and it will eat you up. It will destroy America." You can see his reasoning as you read this book. It will take you 2 to 3 hours, depending on how much you focus on it. President Lincoln invited a collection of free Negroes into his office during the middle of the Civil War, about 1863, proposed that they organize themselves to return all blacks to Africa, with the American government paying for it. These blacks were not interested in going back to Africa. Click on my picture, here on YouTube. It is about a 2-minute listen. And President Jefferson and Henry Clay formed the Recolonization Society 200 years ago. To return all blacks back to Africa. They returned 60,000, but the project failed, so many being brought in by slave ships and the high birth rates. You can see the reasoning of both presidents in these IQ studies, summarized. I think it would be a mistake to let my AI voice read the IQ studies. It is better you go to my webpage and look at it there. I have the link in my description to this short book. Every time I have tried to post it on YouTube, in a comment on someone else's video, it was deleted. YouTube does not want the subject of IQ discussed, neither do people on the left or right. In politics, look at the book, and you can see why. President Jefferson was right in his assertions, and if he knew the Latino races south of our border, I think his conclusion would be the same. The genetic differences are too great to live in the same nation. Inequality, it is not going to work. It will fail in the end. A final thought for those of you who take a look at the book, as you study the differences between white and Asian. The white IQ and Asian differences are not great, but consider that the Asian nations have always lived under a brutal dictatorship, while European origin people, much of the time, have strived to be more, strived for liberty, freedom of thoughts, speech, religion, freedom to be separated from dictatorship-type societies. And two, the white category includes modern Italy, Greece, Turks, Spain, and even Arabs. The founders of all past civilizations were Aryan, Adamic, a tall Nordic white people, but the people of those nations became mixed, Adamic, and not of Adam. Also consider that when Cortez entered Mexico, all of the Americas were Stone Age people. They had never seen iron or a wheel, yet history books claim they built the great monuments there and in Peru. They do not tell you the monuments had to be built with a sharp rock in one hand and a hammer rock in the other. Professional historians deceive you. They lie to you. Establishment historians do not tell you America was Stone Age. Because the monuments are there, thus the ancestors of the Stone Age people that live there today must have made them. Cortez and Columbus was 500 years ago. In Inner Africa, it was just 200 years ago when European explorers entered there. It was much more Stone Age than the Americas. I have a video on this platform that informs us what they found, which was a Stone Age people in Africa too. History books in public school and college lie. Movies and TV lie. They just make it up. It is fiction. Learned men of history are professional liars or they are simply incompetent. Every historian must adhere to Marxism or find another occupation. If interested in America before Columbus, go to my webpage, The Adam Book, I wrote 30 years ago, Chapter 11, Ancient America, CrutcherCPA.com. You will be surprised at the depth of how much you were lied to your entire life. And click on my picture here on YouTube, see the message Abrahamic Covenant. God made a forecast on his descendants. Through the seed of Abraham all the world be blessed, those descendants shall be a multitude of nations, as stars in the sky. And that has happened the past 4,000 years, if you know who the seed of Abraham are. And it is a fact. Most modern Jews do not descend from Abraham. But there are plenty of white Christians that do. The study of the Bible, the study of past civilizations, the study of IQ, are all interrelated. It always seems so odd to me that a past CPA and a current West Texas farmer spent his entire adult life, 40 years, a life studying and searching out truths that are contrary to Marxist teachings in our public school, colleges, and most of all, from our Christian churches. This job should have been given to someone special, gregarious, someone highly intelligent, a high IQ, but I am none of these. It amazes me how much white people had rather believe a lie than the truth. You can see history of civilizations and the intelligence required coming to life in reviewing these historical IQ studies. Decide for yourself. Blessings. Kent Crutcher, CPA MBA.